Hey golfers, I'm Drew Mahowald of Second Swing Golf here at Second Swing Minnetonka, joined by Tyler Fitzel, Master Club Fitter here at Second Swing, and today we've got some new hybrids, Callaway Elyte hybrids here for 2025. Really cool look to them, and they have 3 models, but there are some new changes as well in terms of adjustability with the Elyte hybrids that they haven't had really ever in Callaway hybrids. So Tyler, talk to me about what is new, what do you see here?
Well, there's a couple things that we talk about right away. We have some adjustable weighting that's on the heel and the toe. We also have an adjustable hosel. This has got more adjustments than previous models that they've put out before. And then there's Ai10x AI Face technology, which allows for 10 times more contact points.
Yeah, so there's 3 models. So we've got the standard Elyte, we got the Elyte X, and then the Elyte Max Fast. The Max Fast family, of course, from Callaway is kind of for those lighter swing speeds, moderate swing speeds. The standard Elyte and the Elyte X now, there's some differences there in sizing. That's what we're going to test both today.
Yeah, and a little shaping.
But in terms of the other thing we should note as well, they have these options for everybody. So everybody's going to be covered in terms of who's looking for a hybrid. What do you think we're going to see? Is there any differences in the testing today in terms of numbers between these 2 hybrids, or is it more of a look and feel thing?
I think there will be some differences in the numbers, but I also think there's going to be some differences in the look and the feel that go along with it. With the different shaping and the ability to kind of move some things around, you're going to get one club that maybe has a different lie angle than another, just in standard. But then that's some of the adjustments that can be made with it. It looks like the X has a little bit of a higher toe. That shaping's a little different. It gets a little higher out here, a little slimmer on the regular version of that.
Yeah, kind of helps turn the ball over. So we'll do some testing. We've got a Callaway Elyte 3 hybrid. We've got an Elyte X 4 hybrid. And we've got TrackMan ready. So let's do some testing.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so Callaway Elyte, I guess firsthand, as someone who doesn't play a hybrid, I actually like this look a lot. I don't like the glossy crown on clubs. And so to see the matte finish here, I guess it's very clean. I think it's a pretty compact looking hybrid for one that's supposed to kind of fit maybe the masses. I like that a lot. Now, we're not really going to play too much with adjustments here. It's more of just kind of that initial testing, but you know, to have the adjustability there is going to be huge in fittings for players this year, I imagine.
Yeah, it really will be.
A little low on the face, but it's going to work.
Nope, that'll work really well.
That's where that launch was under 10 degrees. I know that's typically a little higher, but got enough spin to keep it in the air.
Carrying at 230, landing angle still steep enough, ball speed, smash factor, really solid. Yeah, keeping it in the air a little bit longer there too.
That was maybe not the other way where it was kind of a slightly heavy. You can see that spin drop because of that, but I was able to launch it higher and it stayed in the air a little bit better. Okay, not as bad, but.
No, one of the things that hybrids we've kind of grown to look at over the years is typically the longer irons are more fade bias and they get us a little bit more slice, they get us a little bit more out to the right, and we've been trying to reduce that with hybrids, right? That right miss. So we've kind of geared technology that way. And in some cases, you know, we get through that golf ball with a hybrid, it almost starts going more left. So there's this kind of constant battle between trying to keep these to go a little bit straighter. And that's kind of the play where we see the shaft adjustability, and now we can look at lie angle as well as loft.
Right, which is, again, I know we do these kind of initial testing and just get some feel and stuff, but the fitting capabilities are going to be the big win on these for sure. That one should be pretty good. Hit that one really well. Still carrying about 230, going about 245, 250. We got one more here, but I think I really like the feel because that one was like you feel some energy off the club face too. I mean, 144 smash factor is, I'll take that every day with a hybrid.
From a sound perspective, it's kind of crisp.
It is.
It's not let's say kind of like tin can.
Right.
Where there's a reverberation of any kind. It's very crisp.
You don't have it doesn't sound hollow or anything like that.
No.
You know? It's. Oh, I hit that one good.
That was actually maybe one of the best ones. Carries 250, goes 270.
150 smash. Okay.
Yeah, and smash. Yeah, typically we get into hybrids, and the smash factor with ground contact isn't something that we're totally obsessed with.
Yeah.
But anytime you get into woods and you start talking about how fast the ball moves,
Yep.
that in terms of ball speed was about as efficient as you could be by the
I know.
swing speed.
I didn't even. I don't think I've ever hit 150 with a hybrid before.
Yeah, and that's when you go talk about the technology that Callaway's got is the AI face, and they've got more contact points that they believe is going to increase that ball speed so that you can continue with the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was smoked. What do we got?
Really
What do we got for kind of some averages up there? Because I think I got 5 swings. Now I was able to pick up some speed throughout pretty much the whole session there.
Yeah, you were. So ball speed wise, about 147. You see some 152. We also have a couple of 149 in there. So the real nice piece to this is we're looking at it in terms of even, everything has the optimizer as the ability to go look at it for where it is on the optimizer. You do fit really well into kind of this middle trajectory right in here.
Yeah.
The spin is rather low on that, considering where that's at. But as you start looking at it in terms of its carry and then its its distance, you've got really nice numbers in here. And then we look at it from the total. Yeah, we had one that was a little bit left, but that's where we were talking about how some shots moving a little bit right versus left.
Yep, and there was, I had like that, I think my second shot up there was the one that was 24-78 spin. That was one that I hit a little fat. I got maybe a little bit of the mat behind the ball and kind of hit it on the high part of the face, which knuckleball effect and kind of knocked that down. But realistically, I think a 3 hybrid like this, we're talking at this club's 19 degrees.
Yeah.
I would imagine the spin rate that you would think for me would probably be high 3,000s is what you're kind of going for.
Yeah, around 4,000.
Like yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and for the way that it's launching, you have a club path that is typically inside to out. This is what we know about your swing. It's what we've and any testing what we've done. That's going to usually mean that the ball's moving a little bit left. It could reduce a little bit of the launch. It can be as you're closing the face, squaring it up, could reduce a little bit of that spin. That tends to happen for you. So you are a lower spin player. Getting some more spin into this will, increase peak height, increase landing angle, increase carry distance.
Yeah.
And increase stopping power.
Okay.
And I think that's one of the advantages when we start looking at adjustability. We haven't even touched this. This is 19 degrees in standard.
Yep.
I'd probably try to add maybe a little bit more loft to it and see what happens is maybe another degree or 2.
Yeah.
And when you do that, getting it up in the air a little bit more, that actually might make that club a bit more optimal for you.
Well, you know what? Let's add loft in a different way by hitting the X, because I think the X model is a 4 hybrid. So we can add loft that way by just giving me the other club head.
Yeah, let's do that. And then let's see what happens in that window. I think that's a great idea.
All right, so the Elyte X, I can definitely, you mentioned at the beginning kind of the shaping and how the toe is a little higher and there's kind of more mass. You can definitely see that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's almost as if, looking at it, it almost, grows towards the toe.
It does.
Yeah, it's like there's more mass here, which is going to correct, someone that's going to be missing to the right or has that problem going to the right. It seems like this club is designed to kind of help with that a little bit.
Yeah, and there's a couple things with the X that they've done. They've made a little bit, it's a lighter weight design. The other thing that we talk about with Callaway is how they kind of start to pair things up between irons and woods. The way that I like to fit is also looking at the irons. And so Callaway would recommend something like their the Elyte X with this one as well. Kind of looking at the Elyte iron with the Elyte hybrid, the Elyte X with the Elyte hybrid.
Right.
And that's one of the things that I look at too is it's like, is this iron gonna, this hybrid gonna match up well with its iron and its counterparts to it? This has a little bit of a kind of an iron face
It
look.
does.
If you look at it,
Yeah, I think so.
take the hybrid side out of it, the face and the structure, the shaping of the face looks like an iron. It kind of has a toe that comes up like a long iron.
Yeah, that's a good point. So in theory, I shouldn't have a problem. I already don't have a problem going right, but there should be, a little bit more left, maybe leaning bias to this one.
It might. This is a little bit more upright, neutral position for this compared to the Elyte.
Started that way, right? For sure, with the face open. That was bad.
Now, as you see something like this, where the Elyte X is got a little higher toe, a little different shape profile, does that make you, in your own mind, think, hey, I want to try to swing something differently here?
Yeah, I mean, it probably is doing some of that to my brain, because it does look. I do notice those differences between this and the standard model.
And that's where we would be in a fitting aspect, looking at this, saying to someone who's maybe they got the Elite iron and we try the Elite hybrid and it's maybe not working, we may need to go to the Elyte X and look at that, because maybe the shaping of this is slightly different and gives them a look that they prefer.
Right.
Or maybe they're not in their swing, they're not trying to make it do something, whereas the look of one hybrid versus another. Well, it was more solid.
It was. That's better. There we go.
Yeah, that was really nice. Another good one.
Yep.
Almost identical numbers to that, too. So even though the ball speed went up, the smash was really good. You've got the same sort of carry in total, the same sort of launch and spin, same sort of height.
Yeah.
So even on a miss hit, the last two shots were just almost identical. I say that because the ball speed was a lot lower on the last one,
Yeah.
but the result was the same.
Ooh. Yeah, that's left.
It's something you tend to do.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, so I struggled with the swing a little bit out of the gate there on those first probably 4 of them, and then started to figure it out from there.
Yeah, even from a perspective of pairing these up, when we start talking about like how would we pair these two up, right? So you've got an Elite and an Elyte X. So we took a look at 19 versus 21. So you've got the 21 in your hand, carries about 220, goes 236. And we come into the Elite, this is the next club. In the gapping purposes, this carries about 234,
Yeah.
which is about where that club finishes and goes out about 250. So it's kind of like what would be next? Probably a 3-wood. That's going to get you carry distance around 250, 260.
Yep.
Out to the next total
Right,
distance.
and that's the gapping piece is the
Yeah.
important part of this part of the bag. You know,
It
when you're
is.
looking at Callaway Elite hybrids, or really any hybrid, but especially these ones with all the adjustability they have. The main idea is to be able to gap the way you want it, and then get the consistency from there to hit the shot that you want.
Right.
Which, I was able to. These numbers all make sense in the sense of I had a little bit more loft with the Elyte X, so it launched a little bit higher, spun a little bit more, had more height. Landing angle was a little steeper. I mean, everything is kind of falling in line there with how it's supposed to perform.
What I think is going to be really a hit for this hybrid, I think it's going to be one of the best hybrids on the market. And the reason I say that is because you have both weight adjustability as well as loft and lie adjustability. Not to mention, we're going to pair that up with a shaft that's strong enough for your swing that can handle the strength of your swing.
Yeah.
So when we start looking at the amount of adjustability and the ability to change the weight in its positions, on all 3 models have weight adjustability and shaft adjustability. There's some differences, of course, then with the Elyte X, and the Max Fast, where that's a very lightweight design, designed for gaining some speed, versus the others have some weight and some stability, but they have some different shaping that go along with it too.
Yeah, I think that I can really see how this is going to pair nicely with an iron set, an Elyte X iron set. It just seems like it'll flow right in, say a 5-iron or a 6-iron or whatever it might be, loft-wise, gapping-wise. It's gonna be really nice for a lot of players. I think especially players that just need a little bit of help, maybe correcting a slice. You can just see when you look at the club, it's already trying to kind of fight that for you.
Yeah, and from a fitter's perspective, what's the one thing I want to try to do with every club fitting? I want to try to maximize or optimize the club to fit what we've got going on with that swing. This gives us more options to it, and hopefully that gives us a little bit more consistency as we get out there and we play.
All right, so Tyler, testing complete there on the Elite hybrids from Callaway.
Yeah.
I think you're really impressed with these. I can tell you're really impressed with these
Yeah.
because I know obviously you're excited about the adjustability part as
Yeah.
a fitter, but I just think they're crisp and they're clean and they're fun to hit too. I mean, there's kind of
Yeah.
both sides that are working in favor of the Elite hybrids here.
Yeah, and one of the things that we talk about with hybrids is filling gaps. We want to try to fill those gaps. So how do we fill those gaps? Adjustability is the name of the game in that. And every company's got that, but what Callaway does is they're setting themselves apart this year with the two weights that you have to be able to adjust. And so now if I can put some more weight on the toe or the heel, and I like to talk about those as a mass accelerator. So if I've got shots maybe kind of a little more toe or a little bit more heel, I can put weight behind that to increase ball speed. Well, ball speed can equal distance, and distance is a big part of this game. So when I'm looking at forgiveness, I want to get that ball to go at least the distance of my target.
Yep.
And directionally, we have some other options that we can help with, whether it is the weights for some ball flight patterns or it's the shaft adjustability on it too.
Yeah, so let's go model by model here now.
Yeah.
So starting with the Callaway Elyte, the kind of the standard hybrid, what type of players probably will best, or I guess most likely be putting that one in the bag?
Yeah, I think that's probably someone that has a little bit of a faster club head speed. I think it's probably someone that may have a little bit of a lower handicap. I think the slim nature allows for a little bit more maneuverability, or in other words, workability, and I think that's kind of what Callaway would be talking about with this as well.
Yeah.
So I think it pairs really well with their Elite iron, which is kind of what they want to do, is they want to pair that up. But I think the Elite is going to be kind of the mainstay in this whole process, and it's going to be very, very widely accepted to any kind of fitting that we want to put that in.
Yeah, a wide range of golfers are going to be able to play that one for sure. Now, the Elyte X is the one I have here. You're going to start to see some of that additional mass towards the toe.
Yeah.
So what type of golfers are going to be benefiting the most from the Elyte X model?
You know, I think someone that maybe wants to have a hybrid in the bag but isn't necessarily a hybrid player. So when we talk about the idea of like, okay, I'm not a hybrid, I don't like hybrids. Well, it's because the idea is maybe the look.
Yeah.
And so maybe if it's the look, the Elyte X actually looks a bit more like an iron, kind of with the bulked up iron. It's got a nice high toe. It looks a bit more like the shape of an iron.
Yeah, that face is kind of, there's just more up
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
So again, it has a full range of adjustability, and with the Ai10x in terms of its face technology, all of these models are going to allow for a little bit more ball speed, a little bit more forgiveness.
Yep.
And so I really kind of think this is kind of the middle ground for people. It's certainly worth a look if the Elite is something that's not quite catching you for its look or its performance. Is like trying that Elite X is a great option to this, because again, you got weight adjustability on the toe. That's extreme weight, and then you've got 7 hosel positions. So that allows you for a lot of different loft and lie options. Really fine tune that piece in the bag.
And then lastly here, Elyte Max Fast. We don't have that one with us today in particular, but it kind of falls in line with Max Fast from Callaway in the past. What kind of golfers are you seeing that you work with that?
I would definitely say a much more deliberate swing speed. So if we have trouble creating some of that speed, this doesn't mean that you're a slow swing speed, right? Because the definition of fast versus slow is really person by person and swing by swing. We want to get into someone that needs to help launch the ball in the air. That's a key. We want lightweight design. We got generally a shaft that's probably that's much lighter weight as well. When you have trouble getting that ball to launch in the air, we're going to try to do some things with that club. We're going to make it lighter. We're going to see if we can't get that mass to help create more, to get the center of gravity down, get that ball up in the air. And that's a huge piece to this puzzle, right? So we start talking about hybrids. So why are we talking about hybrids? Because the long irons aren't getting the ball maybe up in the air. We're going to want a max fast.
Yep, and then you have all kinds of loft options as well here with the Elite hybrids. So Callaway Elite hybrids, some really good testing, some really good performance, and Tyler gives the stamp of approval. They're going to be pretty darn good here in 2025 and beyond. So,
I agree.
Thank you for joining us today, giving your insight. Elite hybrids, go get fit today. Make sure the gapping is right at the top of the bag and that you're dialed in.